In what's being seen as a model for other countries, India's mass distribution of clean fuels to communities is having a positive effect on lives. More than 15 million households across India are replacing biomass fuels that damage health and the environment during cooking with LPG. David Reid went to New Delhi to see how gas has made the difference.
More smoke than heat. Pravesh is making tea, struggling to get the fire hot enough by puffing through a pipe onto a traditional fuel common in many Indian households. The atmosphere in the house stings your eyes and makes you choke.
Particularly in rural areas, many households are continuing to use this solid fuel. The smoke it produces isn't good for the women who are cooking here, isn't good for anyone living in this household. It's why the Indian government is pushing for the uptake of a cleaner cooking fuel.
क्यों ना होती धुआं आँखन में न लगता, आँख खराब नहीं होंगे। बहुत तन के तो आँख भी खराब हो चुके हैं आते हैं। जो आँखन की जो आँख बीमारी वो आँखन को तो कतई मना कर दें डॉक्टर।
Preparing this fuel is straightforward. They've been doing it the same way for centuries. Pravesh makes a batch in no time and leaves them to harden in the sun.
Once this mixture of dung and straw is made into a cake, it's then sort of loaded up and made into a structure with a shelter on top from the monsoon rain. And if you think about it, this ought to be the ultimate green technology or green fuel.
It's cheap, locally available, and it does slowly heat your food. But the health hazards rule it out as a sustainable fuel. Enter liquid petroleum gas, just one of a number of clean fuel options that are making themselves at home in households across India's cities and countryside.
हमने तो जो अभी बनाई है, अरे हम तो जो चूल्हे से बनाते, जब धुआं लगा उसमें बारिश हो जाए तो रोटी बना बन पामी। अब ऐसी है कि अपने जो जल्दी खाना बन जाता, अपने काम वाम करके आते हैं तो खेती बाड़ी में इतना फर्क पड़वा करने का जब चूल्हे से बनावे तो आँखन में धुआं लगता काफ़ी, आँच ना पचड़ चूल्हे में। अब इससे ऐसा करने का अपनी तिली खींचो और अपने आराम से खाना बन जाता।
The benefits of clean fuels like LPG go beyond alleviating the health damage of all that smoke. As delegates of this World Petroleum Council workshop in Delhi heard, replacing traditional fuels with alternatives that actually cook faster can also change the lives of the women traditionally tasked with doing all the cooking.
If they move from a biofuel consumption to using gas or pipe gas or even LPG for that matter, they save about 5 to 6 hours. So they spend 5 to 6 hours because they have to collect biomass, they have to let it dry for a while, they have to keep it for drying, they have to monitor it all the time, and then cooking from biomass takes about 3 to 4 hours. And that gets reduced significantly. So, and that time that they save, they can actually engage in much better economic activities.
It's the sort of positive change that many want to see replicated across the developing world.
The problem we have is that we have a world population that is increasing. We will have a minimum of 9 billion people by 2050. Could be 11 billion depending on the numbers, and all those people will need energy. At the moment, we don't have enough energy for the people that are here. And we have an enormous number of people who are in energy poverty. They have no access to clean energy at all.
And it's not just about access to clean and effective cooking fuel. Much of Delhi's pollution comes from cars and trucks driven on lower quality fuel than that used in Europe or the US. India's government is now setting deadlines for producing cleaner petrol for a new generation of drivers.
India has an issue of energy access. So everybody doesn't have access to energy in India the way developed countries have, the way Europe has, the way US has. So what we are practically doing is, somebody who doesn't have access to a transportation fuel, who doesn't have access to a car or a bike, he would start driving a car or a bike in 2020 with the cleanest fuel possible in the world. So that's the vision. So we are not trying to, so it's like something like the telecom revolution. We moved directly from no phone or no connectivity to mobile phone connectivity. So hopefully we can emulate the same success story in use of fuels, cooking and transportation fuels. We move directly from no fuels to the clean or cleanest fuels.
All types of energy sources are needed to provide sustainable energy for everyone. In India, solar power is one of the country's fastest growing businesses, with nearly 1 million solar lanterns sold in 2015. It's successful here because, in common with many developing countries, India gets plenty of sun, but also because clean solar is rapidly getting cheaper than traditional coal.
You cannot be only providing clean energy if it is very expensive. It has to be affordable also. So the options which will really see the light of the day in a country like India will be the clean but affordable energy.
There is no single solution to fuel poverty. Renewables like solar electricity, better quality petrol for transport, clean LPG for cooking, all have roles to play across the world in addition to the traditional fuels. All are needed to deliver modern energy to the over 3 billion people still relying on solid fuels for cooking, while keeping the environment and families safe from harm.